This is a nice time of year to be out with animals. The flies aren't out yet because it's still cold. So they're comfortable, we're comfortable. It's a really kind of pleasant day for working. I'm John Sarge, Tillers International. We're getting ready to take the oxen out in the woods now. And Jared's going to be bringing the yoke out here. And there he is. And he's going to get the oxen, get some halters and lead ropes. The yokes that we use here, it's a traditional style that would have been used in Northern Europe and in North America. And you can kind of see the basic parts here. It's got the beam is the big heavy part that they're actually pulling on. The bows are the pieces that go around the animal's neck. There's a set of hardware attached in the middle. And these rings are what we're using to hook up the load. And this is the ring that we use for pulling. We hook the chain in the slot, it drops in there, and we pull on that. This other ring is actually used for steering when you have a tongue on your implement. And here comes Jera with Pollux. We'll bring them up here to the hitching post. When we hook the animals up, we usually will brush them a bit just to kind of check them over and make sure they don't have any sores or any other problems. But also, it's a way of kind of rewarding them for coming out and working. If you watch cattle in a herd, there's a lot of grooming that goes on where they actually go and they lick each other with their tongues and just kind of gently, kind of reacquaint themselves as part of the group dynamic. And so we'll spend some time with a brush, and they like being brushed. This time of year especially, it's just coming off winter, so it's kind of dry skin season. And you see a little dandruff problem you got there, Pollux. Yeah, Pollux is just in his prime as a working animal. These guys, I think, are about 5 or 6 years old now. When Pollux was young, he had a little accident when he was just a calf, and so he broke one of his horns. And you can see it's kind of grown back here, and then we trimmed it off because it was growing back and was kind of curling back toward his face. So to keep it from hitting him, we trimmed it off. Okay, yeah, don't forget the top of your head there. That's an area that they can't easily scratch, so they appreciate it when you rub it a little bit. We got Castor at the post now, and here's tying him up there. And these guys are they're a pretty mellow team. They used to feel more rambunctious when they were younger, but they settled down nicely. Castor is the off animal, means he's farther away from me. Pollux is the nigh animal, so he's nigh or near to where I'm standing. So if I were driving, I'd be standing over here, and that makes him close to me in the nigh animal. Very good explanation. I think Jared's about ready to put the yoke on, so. Go ahead. You may take it.
Yeah, I got it. Oh, easy boy.
Was it heavy?
Don't feel like working today, huh?
Yeah. He's talking to us. The yoke really doesn't weigh that much for these guys. They weigh probably in the neighborhood of 2,000 pounds apiece. So for them, a yoke that weighs 50, 60 pounds really isn't that much. It's a fair bit when I lift it up. Good boy. Oh, Castor, it's okay. Just got to get the pin in there. There we go. Like to make sure that the bow is not too high or too low. If it's up too high, it doesn't fit very good on their shoulder. If it gets down too low, it actually can force its way into their windpipe and makes it a little hard for them to breathe when they're pulling hard. So we try to keep it in a nice position here and make sure there's some room between there. That's part of fitting your yoke to your team. When you look at the hardware now that's hanging up here, you can kind of see how it's supposed to work. We have a tongue in there that goes through the round ring, and the chain will hook in this ring, and they'll be pulling against that. And when they're actually pulling on that, because the hitch point is a little below on the bottom side of the yoke, it actually makes the yoke tip a little bit as they're working, so it keeps the bows firmly against their shoulder, and they get a nice good fit on there when they're pulling. Jared's going to bring a chain in here, and we'll let them carry the chain out to the woods for us.
Get up, boys. Can you explain how he put the chain on?
Yeah, and he's going to wrap it around the tops of the bows, so it will kind of just ride up there. And you can see he's hooking that into the calabash ring, the grab ring. And then he's going to kind of wind it around up the top there. And put that on there so it'll stay up there. Okay, good boys.